Like that. Hey, we're not gonna be a Bible study. You go watch it back.
I have no idea. I have no idea if this is going to work or if anybody's even going to be able to come.
I was doing it for like 15 minutes.
What's that? It's the seniors for the National Society that were inducted last year. Okay, so I can listen to the Guys, you need a handout and a note card. And if you did not bring a pen or pencil, grab one of mine.
You're better than me? Right now, or like last year? You're just not going to you were about basically end of the year league. Is it the same thing as I no, you didn't. Right, districts you got last one too. Yeah, districts you got. What the other did you beat me at? Like all of them. You didn't beat me at the fastest meet of the year. You didn't beat my overall PR time. What was your arm? That was your fastest meet. That was my fastest. Yeah. I think my fastest weight.
No, I just like knew there was something I really wanted to do. I just couldn't remember the
I think we're about
All right, guys, we're going to wait just one more minute to see if there's anybody who got stuck in traffic. And I'm also checking to see if the people who are on Zoom can hear me and see me. So technology, but you need a note card and a handout. And then we'll start in a minute.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. If I could have your attention, please. And again, this is the first time that I've tried to do the Zoom and the live, and that stresses me out. So I'm sorry if things don't go well. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody has access to it. So here we go. Welcome. Good to see you guys. We're gonna go through basically the agenda that's on the handout. That handout is yours to take with you as a reminder of the things. So feel free to write on it if you need to take notes, etc. A copy of the handout is also in the meeting assignment on Canvas. So I'm just trying to kind of over communicate to make sure everybody knows what's going on. Okay. So the very first thing that I want is the attendance note card. So you should have a note card in front of you. So on the lined side, please put your first and last name. your birthday. The most likely college major that you're thinking. If you're completely undecided, that's fine, but this is just for me for interest's sake. And then your most likely college choice. Again, if you have a vague idea, put down something, something, or something. If you know, great. If you have no idea, just put down no idea. And then one volunteer organization that you feel passionate about and why. So I will be sharing that information with Zach when we get it, so that they can use that information to kind of direct our future engagements and opportunities. And if you don't have a specific organization, if you just love dogs, put dogs. If you like kids, put kids. If you like homeless people. I'm going to take those before you leave today, so if you still need a little bit more thinking time, you don't have to turn it in right away. If you are not here, if you are listening to this or the recording, please stop by my classroom and make sure you get that done at some point. Okay, the next piece of information is how do you track your hours? So over the years, we've kind of figured out the best way to do this. They've tried it digitally. We've tried having students keep track of it. Like this seems to work best. So there are blue sheets. This folder is always going to be on my desk over here. If I have class, you can just quietly come in and help yourself to a blue sheet if you need it, okay? Every single volunteer opportunity that you do needs to have a blue sheet because otherwise I don't keep good track of it. And I'm just gonna be the one who's on Canvas adding in your hours and your points as you go, okay? It's very straightforward. The biggest question that I get from people is the difference between a group project and individual hours. So just a reminder, you need one group project, 7 individual hours by January, and then it starts over for second semester, okay? So a group project is basically anything that we as a group put together, and usually there's a sign-up genius associated with that, okay? So anything that has been with the Noah's Hope this month that I set up for you guys would qualify as a group project. It gets a little tricky with multiple volunteer hours in group projects. So usually in the past, we have said that a group project should be about 2 hours. Sometimes it's a little bit less than that. And I don't really necessarily want it to have to be more than that. So if you have a group project that goes over 2 hours, anything over those 2 hours, you can count as individual. Okay, so if you did 7 different things for Noah's Hope, 2 of those hours or one event maybe would count as a group project, and then the rest of the hours you would count as individual. Okay. Last year and the year before, we had set it up so that there were enough group opportunities that students could participate in throughout the year that if you went to every single one of them, you would also have taken care of all of your individual hours. You would not have to set up anything on your own, and that was kind of the goal. However, you only have to do one. So if you have already done one thing for Noah's Hope, that is your group project for the year. Everything else is just, for the semester, everything else is just bonus, okay? So if you have a question about whether something is one or the other, just let me know. But at the top of this blue sheet, you're gonna wanna circle, is it a group project or is it individual hours? okay? Because they just go into a separate category on Canvas. And then you're going to tell me what you did. If there is a supervisor, you're going to get that supervisor's signature and information. I spot check. So I will call someone from the art center and be like, hey, so-and-so did Art Splash this weekend. You know, how did they do? And honestly, like, it's not that I don't trust people, but you guys know me, I do have trust issues. But also, I want to see how we're perceived out in the community. Last year, I checked in with a lady who did the caramel apple fundraisers from the Humane Society. And she was like, oh, your students, they were amazing. Keelan, not so much. Awesome. So that's what I like to hear. So just try and get their signature and then describe your event responsibilities. What did you do? And then just a quick takeaway. Okay. Doesn't have to be grammatically correct, but please be thoughtful. So that is for everything. I will have a giant binder of all of the ones that I keep over the year. You can always come and check to see your hours, but I will also put those in Canvas. It just got too much of a mess last year with people arguing with each other about like the student who was supposed to be putting them in, and that's not fair to them. So like if you're going to yell at somebody, yell at me, like come at me this way. Okay, so that's me and your hours. Questions on the blue sheets? Okay. Upcoming opportunity dates. So today, after our meeting is done, usually our meetings will be done by 3:20. I want to respect people's time. I know people are coming from to and from work and practices, so our meetings will be no more than 20 minutes, even if I'm yelling at you on your way out the door. After today, like today after our meeting, we have lots of t-shirts that have been donated and brought, and you have the opportunity, if you can stay, to stay and make dog toy, chew toys. I don't care what they look like. It doesn't, whatever, they're chew toys. So that is an opportunity. You would have to fill out a blue sheet. If you've already done service work, you're going to want to fill out a blue sheet. Tomorrow, the intent was to collect even more money at the football game. We only have one person signed up, so that person is going to be very lonely if no one else joins him. It's Anakin. Last night at the volleyball game, we made $70, which is way more than I expected. So good job to the ladies in the back and to Oliver. Yep. So good job, guys. So $70 was great. We have buckets and we have stuffed animals. We have a poster. We can do whatever at the football game. Someone else should sign up to help Anakin. I don't think he wants to sit by me the whole time. Then we have an adoption event this weekend at PetSmart from 10 to 2. I think it went well last time. They said that there were so many of us there that they had to go get more dogs to give more opportunities. So I think Sergeant Bluff kind of piggybacked off of us, but we had it called first, but whatever. Next week after school, we can bake dog treats. And so I have people signed up for each of those times after school, and I'm willing to stay. And Ms. Bunce has said that we can use the Family Consumer Science ovens downstairs. We have little molds, we have cookie cutters, we don't have it yet, but we'll have the ingredients to bake and mix and cut and make. And so then the intent is for on the 26th for whoever wants to, we only have one signed up for right now, but whoever wants to take the money, the toys, and the dog treats to Noah's Hope Friday after school, that would be another opportunity to get some, that's the best part, right? Like you get to go see the dogs and then they get to be like, thank you. Like that's the best part of the volunteering. So that is also an opportunity on the Sign Up Genius. Questions on Noah's Hope? And again, the reason why I did this as our first activity was to A, try and get you involved as soon as possible, B, see who was interested in really being involved, and maybe you would be interested in being a leader and doing leadership positions, and C, you would have it under your belt as kind of like a resume, scholarship, college application type thing. So I hope it helps. And if you can't make it to any of them, that's okay. There'll be at least something every month for you to participate in for a group project. Okay. Okay. Communication. Slack is the app that I want to use. Bound is stupid and I will fight against it. Yeah, it's just dumb. It does not work. Talking Points does not work unless you're signed up as a student for it, whatever. Slack is the way that we are going to go until BJ literally makes me stop. So I need you at some point, not right now because I'm running out of time, to download that app. I'll come back to this at the very end. You're going to download the Slack app on your phone and then join our class. So I don't know if you want to take a picture of the QR code. I mean, it's on your handout too, but that QR code will get you to join the NHS group, class, whatever, of Slack. Okay, we will almost exclusively communicate through Slack from here on out. Once I expect you guys to have it done, please have it done within a week. Okay, I'll put this back up at the end. So Slack. T-shirts. I was gonna wear my t-shirt today. That didn't happen. So we always get t-shirts for NHS, and I like for you guys to wear them when you're out in the community. It is completely up to you what they look like. So we have done this, we have done this version last year. They did dark blue ink on a light blue t-shirt because blue is the color of National Honor Society. So they decided to go for blue shirts. The year before, they did this logo on a black t-shirt with orange writing. Last year, they had the pillars of scholarship, character, service, and leadership on the back. The first year, we did not. If you have an idea, screenshot it and submit it to Canvas. If you are super crafty and you wanted to go to Canva and design your own, wonderful, download it to Canvas, okay? And then next time we will vote on the design and the color and everything like that. My husband's best friend owns a screen printing company up in Sioux Falls, and so they always give us a good deal. In the past, we've used it also as a secondary fundraiser. I can't collect dues from you guys, but if you wanted to use this as a fundraiser, they will take a proceeds of the cost of the t-shirt, kick that back to us, which then we could use for a future service project of our choosing. So we can talk about that later. First, we need a design. So think in your mind, submit a design by next meeting, October 13th. Okay. Leadership positions. I would love for you to volunteer for a leadership position for National Honor Society. Again, you know me, I try and make things a little bit different, a little bit better every year. And so I changed the positions slightly. So we will still have a president. That president is in charge of kind of the vision of where we want to go this year as a group, coming up with ideas, communicating to people, delegating, which is probably the hardest part of leadership, being a servant leader, so participating in that as well, organizing the meetings, and morale. In the past, it seemed like the president just kind of ran the PowerPoint at the meetings, and that is not at all what a president should do. So I just tried to make it clearer as to what I expect of a president leadership. 3 vice presidents, all of which are contributing to community service organizations. In the past, I only had 1 community service person, a vice president, a secretary, whatever. The community service, coordinating those projects is the hardest part. And that person would often feel like they were the only ones doing the hard work and they would get really overwhelmed, and that's not fair. So I'm hoping to have more of a team effort with you guys for that. So if you were running for a vice president position, there are 3 of you possible. So then you would coordinate, communicate the opportunities, obviously participate as a, I have communication on there twice, as a servant leader, and just really trying to come up with ideas and communicate to the outreach people as well as our own people. And then finally, the secretary social media position. So taking meeting notes, posting agenda, taking pictures at the places, making posters, social media posts, bulletin board, morale. In the past, we have done a, what do you call it? A member of the month. And so they would be responsible for helping select that member of the month and then giving them a cute little certificate or a tiny trophy or something. Aubrey Cook started that, where we had like a tiny trophy and she would paste a tiny picture of the person's tiny face on the tiny trophy. So that was fun. So that would be the secretary social media position. I have the ownership of the Instagram account and I'm not giving that to a student. So, because it's connected to my personal. So you would just send me the pictures and tell me what to write. And then I would just post it. So ultimately, like you could do a lot with that. In the past, it has not been someone who has done a lot with that. So if you are interested and you like doing that stuff, please consider that. I need to know who's interested so that I can make a little voting form. So I think it's the Monday before our next meeting. I need to know that you are interested in which position. Okay, so then I'll make the meeting of it. Okay. You would just have to meet with the exec committee once, like the week before our actual meeting to decide like what are we going to talk about in our meeting. All right, so let me know. I have 30 seconds. Okay, upcoming dates. Our next meeting is the 15th at 3 p.m. So it's just the 10th Wednesday of each month. And again, if you have a conflict, let me know ahead of time. As long as it's not just like a I don't want to come conflict, then we'll work through it. Parent-teacher conference tours. Mr. Todd has always asked us to be ambassadors. It is literally the easiest service hour you will ever get because no one comes to parent-teacher conferences anymore. So you will get to sit at a table in the front entrance, and if a parent happens to come and needs an escort to a room that they can't find, you will be that person. Okay, so it is on those dates, the 28th and the 30th. I will make the Sign Up Genius and send that out. I would like to have at least one person on every hour. Right, like just so it's covered, so we're there and present. I understand that on the 30th we don't have school, and some of you might have college visits planned. It just happens. So if you're available, please come. If not, I understand. Okay, but that would count as an individual hour. Sometime in November, hopefully they will pay us to pick up trash again. It is the best fundraiser because it gives back to the community. It looks great before the NAIA tournaments. The city loves us. We got a lot of really good publicity for it last year, and we got a lot of money from it last year. So it will be whenever the volleyball NAIA tournament is. It'll probably be like a day or 2 or 3 before that. So just know that that's coming, and the more the merrier. The more bags we get, the more money we get. That way we don't have to do other fundraisers because I hate fundraising. November 19th, December 17th, January 14th are our meetings. And then the Cone Park fundraiser night is a required fundraiser. They will give us $1 for every person who goes sledding that night. If we get over 100 people, we get $2 per person. Last year we had 103 people, so we got $2 per person. Okay, and it's fun. It's just a fun senior thing to do. So just, I don't know if that's a Wednesday or a Thursday, but I don't think you have school the next day. So anyway, come have fun. That is required unless you have like a school-sponsored activity or a broken foot, which we had last year. Okay, questions? Dang it, I was 3 minutes over. Okay, so if you are staying to help with the doggy toys, fantastic. If you have to leave, go ahead and leave, but please download Slack as soon as possible. Let me know if you're interested in a leadership position and submit a t-shirt design if you have one. All right, I will take your cards. We're done. Ready, go.
I do not.